Thank you so much for tuning into my channel. You may be wondering why you're looking at this light. Well, I just purchased the 2306S Racerstar motors, for $8.50 per motor. I mean, how can you go wrong? So just wanted to kind of show off this motor right here. This is the 2400 kV version. I know there's been a lot of talk about these motors and, are they worth the price? I haven't really put them on a quad yet, but just want to kind of show you the one thing that I really kind of disappointed me in the motor by looks. That if you'll look at how close the magnets are to the stator, I mean, look at that gap there. I mean, that is a big gap, very big. So, I don't know how good the motors are going to be, but that is definitely got to cause some kind of performance loss. Look at that. So, what can you say? It is a $8.50 motor. So, what, $32 for 4 of them? Somewhere around there. So, overall, everything else feels really good. It does have that cogginess, so they probably do have pretty strong magnets in there. So, I don't know a lot about motors. I mean, I really don't. I just, I was very disappointed in that huge gap. I mean, that should have been very easy to fix. That is huge. So, just for some comparisons, I have the Emax red bottoms. These are the 2205 non-S versions, 2600 kV. They have about the same cogginess. As these 2300. I don't know how much that tells, and I know some of the other videos were saying that, or some of the other videos I was wanting, just like, you don't want that cogginess, but to me it feels like how strong the magnets are. I mean, I'm just trying to take logic to it, but whatever the cogginess is, if you look at these 2-generation old motors, I mean, look how close the magnets are. To me, that equals less performance loss. To me, look how close that is. I mean, they're almost touching. I mean, that is crazy. And I thought that on the S versions of the 2300 kV motors, or no, I'm sorry, the 2600 kV motors, I thought that the magnets would be even closer. These are the S version, the 2205 S red bottoms, 2600 kV. They do have a lot more cogginess than the red bottoms, the other red bottoms, the non-S version. And the thing is if you look at it, I mean, look how close the magnets are. There's not a big difference in how close the magnets are on the non-S versions as the S versions. Look at that. I mean, so the only thing I can think is we have, well, actually there's a little bit of more gap. Well, I mean, that shouldn't be much more gap. But anyways, there is oh, that's just the reflection off the bottom plate. So the gap difference on the S versions versus the non-S versions of the red bottoms are not really much different. Um, the So my assumption is on these, the S version, they just have stronger magnets in them, because they definitely are a lot more coggy. Um, so yeah. Well, the one thing I really do like about the S versions is that that screw in the bottom makes it easy to take it apart. But anyways, I just wanted to kind of show. Now, on these S ones right here, I paid $15 for this motor, so that's almost double the price, or around double the price. But is it worth it? I don't know. Um, I can tell you on these version right here, um, I don't quite get it, but um, the 2600 kVs, depending on my tune on my quad, people are like, well, 2600 kV is going to drain your battery. I'm getting to almost 3 minutes of battery time with the 1500. Actually, with a 1300, I put a 1300 on it, getting around 3 minutes of flight time on a 1300 battery. And normally I get 250. So that's kind of crazy. I don't know if the one that has the pod on it, you look back at my other videos, the one that has the blue pod on it with the uh, the Space One frame, the one before the one with the camera, I guess. You can kind of look back at my videos. But when I changed the tune on that, um, I'm still on 3.1.7 on that. I'm getting almost 3 minutes of flight time. Well, I am getting 3 minutes of flight time with these, um, with the 2600 kV, depending on my tune. But anyways, back to these motors, which is supposed to be the star of the show. I mean, there's no cogginess there. Um, I just about probably would like to get one of these for $15. Than to get one of these, just for the build quality. I mean, that gap is ridiculous. I mean, if they just would have made the gap a little, I mean, these probably would be a lot more powerful. So I can't say about the durability. I do like the hollow shaft, um, but I am going to be putting these on a quad and seeing how they perform. Performance have been said to be pretty good, but let's do this. Let's get a little weight difference with the Emax S versions and them, and let's see what that looks like. Another thing, I've got a new camera here, and I usually like to manually focus, but I don't have to fight with it. But so here we go. Here is the 2306 Racerstar. No wires have been cut off of it yet. Brand new motor. 33 grams. All right. Now, this is the 2205S red bottoms, 2600 kV. 30 grams. So that's crazy though, really, in light of how much bigger this motor is than the 2300, the red bottom. That there's only a 3 grams difference. That's crazy. These are the default configuration. The default bolts that come with it are prop nuts, so I just left them on. Now you will notice that the red bottoms do have a little bit shorter wire. But yeah, there is my kind of first impressions of the 2306S Racerstar versions. We'll be putting them on a build, and I'm excited to see how they perform. I mean, if they perform close to the S versions, which some people say that the S version, these the red bottom 2600 kV or the red bottom 2205 S's were their favorite. I think it was Drone Mesh saying with these were his favorite until he went to these. And I mean, how can you really go wrong with if the performance on this Racerstar is close to this one? I mean, I think it's worth it, but I just really wanted to show that magnet gap because I was very disappointed in that. So we'll see, and hopefully they perform well. But what can you say for $850? Technically, this motor is still $15. If it performs as good as this, I guess you're still getting a deal. But you know, I like to look at things with I guess a little bit of common sense behind it. You know, am I going to pay for this motor when I can get this motor for $1 more or close to the same price? Oh no, this is definitely a better performing motor. But will I sacrifice some of this performance to almost pay half the price for this motor? Yeah, I think that makes sense. You know, I think this motor right here would be definitely a bigger hit if they just use a set screw. It must be harder to do as a manufacturing standpoint, and they had to do that to keep it cheaper. I don't know. So we will see, but I am excited to try these. I am trying something a little bit different here by doing a 2400 kV instead of a 2600 kV. Trying to get some of that low end torque just to see how I like it. So yeah, alright, well, thank you very much for watching, and I hope this content was helpful.